The team couple of years ago,
Tell
they
me.
have Gundogan, they have Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne. He was not much, but he was a young kid player. Today he's a mature guy. He's one of the leaders in the team, and I think he's leading the team quite well. But again, these are the games you need to prove how worthy you are, how people can trust in you, how you can lead your team. And obviously, we know the relationship that he has with Erling Haaland, that can also make a change. And now, in his head, everything is clear. I'm a starter. When you know as a player that you're going to start every weekend, it's different. That was just back maybe 2 years ago. One out of three games on the bench. Now he's actually starting every game as a key player on the team that can make a difference.
I think what the other thing that's left for Phil Foden, we know how talented he is. He's had a little bit of a fallow period, but I think that what the only thing that's missing from Phil Foden is his consistency. Once he gets the consistency, he will be not only for Man City but for England as well. That he will be the player that we're expecting to see, and we've expected to see for many years, simply because of the ability he's got and of this time that he's had, Steve, where it's been a little bit low, people questioning him, is he good enough? I think he's more than good enough. He's just got to find consistency.
I think those are the things that will make the difference, because now we know that week in, week out, we have a big chance to play. When I first moved to Arsenal, it was difficult for me because I know I got Robbie Van Persie, Thierry Henry, Dennis Beckham in front of me. So it's a hard one.
They were bad money.
Exactly. And I realized that, okay, now I am the only one left, because you're switching on the left, Dennis Beckham is gone, and left is Van Persie, who was injured. And now I know that I'm going to play week in, week out. That already builds my confidence automatically. So knowing that he will start every game now, I think now we see how good it is for them.
We'll come to the strike. The two centre forwards at the moment, which is fascinating. But they've got to beat these two goalkeepers, because we've mentioned Donnarumma at one end, 2 games, 2 clean sheets. David Raya yet to concede a goal from open play, just that fantastic Szoboszlai free kick that you feel was unstoppable anyway. I mean, these two on show are going to be difficult to get past today.
Yeah, they are. David Raya's in a great flow at Arsenal. Came in, Ramsdale done an incredible job. Arteta stood by him. A lot of criticism in terms of taking an English goalkeeper out. He was showing it, what his skills were, that he believed in Raya. Raya's paid him back, hasn't he? He's been excellent. And then Donnarumma, I don't think enough credit is given to him for the fact that he's had a turbulent pre-season. He was all settled at Paris, had to find a new club. I'm sure he's having many conversations with many clubs all around the world. Manchester City he's settled, and he's come in and he's just shone in the first 2 games. He looks really comfortable, composed. They look really pleased that he's here.
And Arsenal know about him from the Champions League semi-finals.
Yeah,
last season. And as a striker, they're 2 formidable goalkeepers to come up against.
Yeah, when you're a striker, you're going to play against, or just the one I was playing, you see a Peter Church or Van der Sar. I'm not going to switch to the game because difficult day. It's got after. But as a striker, you just have to keep your belief up, and at the end of the day, when you score against those goalkeepers, you call yourself one of the best in the league or in the world. It's going to be a battle. Obviously, De La Roma was in play against Arsenal last season quite well. It's unbelievable save against Arsenal. So his confidence is very big right now. He had a good game, 2 good games for Manchester already. So the players that talk to him as a brother, and I think he's going to do the job. He's huge. So when you as a striker, you're saying, you're like, today I'm going to have a top game.
And the 2 centre forwards trying to beat these 2 goalkeepers. And Haaland's got 4 in 6 against Arsenal. Gyökeres facing City for the first time, but those 3 goals already at the Emirates will do him the power of good.
It will do, yeah. And we know that if he gets himself in and around the position of staying in the centre of the goal, obviously he's going to have that huge goalkeeper to beat. I think that if he gets himself in that scenario, I'm fancying him to score. But can he get himself in that scenario? We're talking about a City side that are giving up chances, but they're giving up chances, and Pep has got a goalkeeper that are saving him from making mistakes, from making those chances. So you're hoping that Gyökeres will have that mindset where you're playing against certain goalkeepers, certain defenders. You have to be switched on a little more, sharpness, touches to be tied up, how to take a shot quicker. This goalkeeper's really confident. So these things are going through your head. So these are the things I'm hoping that he's already got in his mind, so he's ready to go. There's not really much to say about Haaland. He's starting to see the
Patrol goals.
exactly. I'm talking about like the finishes, what you've seen him do in the last couple of games, how clean they were. One where, one he didn't tell you against, and one where he's gone through the halfway. Now this is the hardest one, because the goalkeeper's got to wait for that to just slide it down the right hand side. that's what bothers me. That's what really worries me.
Yeah, I love it. I love being sat on the table with you guys because we obviously play the same game, but we see it from
That's why I like listening to it.
and Emmanuel, when you talked about bearing down on goal and leaving goal, sometimes if you're not in your flow, you question yourself. I need to put in more. I need to wait to see what he does. I think Haaland's in a flow state. That finish when he dinked over Bayandier's shoulder, that top angle, that's I can't speak as a striker, but as a goalkeeper, when you're in your moment, you feel like
That's when football is different when you have confidence. Obviously, what he did there, you can just tell that he knew before even going to the keeper, he already scored because the confidence is too high. And there are certain games, as I said, you wake up, you know you are going to score. And that state of mind, that no matter what, either the ball will hit me on my head, because I score goals sometimes, the ball actually hit me. I'm not the one going towards the ball. That is today, and you put Haaland, the last 2 games, Haaland finishing is just clinical. It's brilliant. You can't tell it's not forcing it. And if you are on the ball, I can score that goal too, but trust me, that's so significant. Because looking at the finish keeper, is right in front of you, it's already a tough one. Now you are at the stadium where you have maybe 60, 70,000 people. It's another one, and you know you have the family members in the stadium. You want to make them proud. All those things are pressure that people don't see. There is a time where in my career, even when I see a poor opponent, because you are afraid of missing. Those are the times that you miss. But right now, if you give 2 chances to Haaland, you say that you miss.
That's how I'm interested in all the talk last year that Arsenal needed this forward. They've gone out and got the upgrade.
He will definitely score between 20 to 20 goals, but I don't think he will be the one that will win the league for Arsenal. He's a good striker, but to go for Arsenal to win the league, you said the statistics before. At the end of the day, they will go to some place where they can make where they will need to score 4 or 5 goals. I don't see Jokeres scoring hat-trick in 3-4 games for the season. So that is, for me, that's a good thing.
I think the thing is that what they say about Jokeres is that he doesn't score against the top end team. Hopefully he can prove that.
This is the type of game where he's got to turn up.
Yeah, this is where he's got to turn up. But the main thing is that if Arsenal are very good against the top 6 teams, if they can continue their record against those guys, then he can continue to score against teams that he's so-called lower in the middle. That might work for him. Ideally, he wants to be scoring against cities. He wants to be scoring against all of the teams. But if it pans out that he only scores against those teams which we have problems breaking down anyway, that could help us as well. So we'll see how it pans out. So I hope it works for him.
Okay, remember Arsenal finished second last year with a top scorer of 9 Premier League goals, and Jokeres has 3 already. So many subplots, so much to look forward to. It is Arsenal against Manchester City, the latest episode. Now, of course, we know that City haven't picked up a single point in their last 2 visits to the Emirates. You know, Mikel Arteta's unbeaten in the last 4 against City. What is going to happen today?
Go make a difference and Guinness, the official beer of the Premier League. The MTN Mega Billion promos here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you can be millionaire at 7 p.m. All cash prizes will be paid directly into your mobile account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Can I ask some more peri-peri pasta? Tell me why you want more. Because I enjoy smoking.
This is why I love my golden peri pasta. It's my family's favorite. What's your reason?
Garage for a once at dinner.
Reminds me of home every time. The truest society. The meat delicious colors. I just want more.
Has a very, yes, great taste. Welcome to F8, the greatest sports betting platform. Set up your favorite sports team with boosted 150% to get lots of chances to win. Remember, cash out and auto cash out.
out whenever you want. With casino games, you can pilot yourself to greatness, decorate on aviator, and more. Refer friends and redeem your free bets with our incredible loyalty program. Join now using promo code GOLD and get a good worth of free bet. Experience all of this and much more, only with Betfred. Be great. Bet great.
Hopefully, and I.
Baffin Martins, one of the fastest football players in history. Enjoy our best first half. Instant bets. Quick cash outs. Quick bets with Arabessa. Now as fast as on Bethany. Arabessa. It's bad. Yeah, to win. I'm not fit to get something. I play, I win, I lock bet.
Mama, so these guys keep calling Mama to now because they are always expressing what to do.
From childhood favorites to new discoveries, keep expressing love with interval flavors.
Well, we enjoyed the two clashes last season, all that rivalry and all that adrenaline. Will Wrighty be dropping his mic today? That is the big question. It always seems to be goals at the atmosphere in these two. 14 years since the last 0-0. That's because Joe Hart was in goal that day. Here's the first half of the Emirates with Andy Townsend and Conor McNamara.
Both these teams know how undeniably daunting it is to be trailing the reigning champions Liverpool at the top already. There is of course a very long way to go in this race, but today Andy feels a particularly important marker to put down in pursuit of Arne Slot's team.
Definitely, because I think all of these matchups against teams that we expect to be there come next March, April time. All of these games are significant ones, the ones that absolutely really matter. Look, every week in the Premier League we know that anything can happen because it's in the middle before. But these big occasions, these big matchups, these big head-to-heads, they do tend to make the difference when we look back in previous years. And I think this one will be any different. It's a big, big game today.
It is not so long ago that Arsenal endured a 12-game losing streak in Premier League matches against Manchester City. But Mikel Arteta has been able to turn the tide over the past two seasons. Arsenal who have found a formula that feels feels familiar. They have been stubborn at the back. They have been slick in attack. City's last visit here, a 5-1 defeat in February. Manchester City have never lost by a heavier margin under Pep Guardiola. It is a result, but still. No mistake, today should be the biggest test that Arsenal have faced so far here on their own patch. Let's have a look at how they line up today. Mikel Arteta makes 2 changes to his starting team, 1 in defence and 1 in attack, as David Raya starts behind the back 4 that welcomes back William Saliba today. It's the Frenchman's first appearance inserting his ankle in the defeat at Liverpool. There's still a lot of Odegaard, so Arsenal's midfielders unchanged. Martin Zubimendi scored twice here against Nottingham Forest last weekend. The home side's other changes in the front 3. Leandro Trossard rewarded for his goal-scoring performance off the bench in Spain with a start in the Premier League here. There's more good news for Arsenal on the bench. Bukayo Saka moved amongst the substitutes, having been absent for the last month. Now, over the opening 4 weekends of the new season, Pep Guardiola had made more changes to his lineup between games than any other Premier League manager, but today it's an unchanged team. So Gianluigi Donnarumma continues in goal. He's yet to concede in a Manchester City shirt. Josko Gvardiol makes his 100th Premier League appearance, and Nico O'Reilly keeps his place, having made his first Premier League start of the campaign in the derby. Rodri makes his 4th start in a row in all competitions. He plays behind a quartet that all did very well 7 days ago against Manchester United. Jeremy Doku has scored a goal and provided 2 assists over his past 2 games this week. And leading the line, Erling Haaland, who is already averaging better than a goal per game this season. On the visitors' bench, John Stones, who scored a dramatic late equaliser against Arsenal last season. The derby demolition of Manchester United last weekend has been a real tonic for Manchester City. But the stumbles of August were costly, and Pep Guardiola's team know that they cannot afford too many more missteps. This is the elite end of the game. The margins between victory and defeat today could prove to be wafer thin. 2 extremely talented squads, but which of them is going to seize this moment? It's a rivalry rooted in respect, the master and the mentee, the teacher and the taught. Guardiola keen to show that he is still the pioneer. By the end of today, Arsenal win could leave them 6 points ahead of City on the table. City win would leave them level on points with Arsenal for now. These are the days that define direction. These are the games that can shape seasons. Mikel Arteta's team who beat City last time they met today, Arsenal hoping to beat Manchester City 2 league meetings in a row for the first time in over a decade. Saliba's checked. How pleased Arsenal fans are to have William Saliba back in their ranks from the start today.
Yeah, they certainly will be. I actually think Mosquera's done very well, in fairness to him. He's come in and defended nicely, but no doubt Gabriel and Saliba are a proper pair. They're going to need to be if Erling Haaland produces anything like he did last week, because he was exceptional, outstanding. He led his team, I felt at times last week, in both 18-yard boxes, but he was at his most lethal. So Saliba and Gabriel have got to be ultra tight and focused today.
It's a day to really go for it. Again, to give it everything. Today, not a day to be returning to the changing room afterwards with any regrets. It's also a team that has yet to concede for open play this season. Wow, inside the Emirates. It's not a good clearance by Raya. But O'Reilly was able to hold on to it. Fiore making good ground outside. Here is the Italian. And very accurate with the timing of that challenge.
Really good challenge that. Pushing off in that right back position. It was exactly the same last week. He was aggressive. Anytime the ball went out to a right man, he was directly in his face, looking to get a challenge in. Interesting there, City, when David Raya had the ball there 5 moments ago at the back. City, the 3-on-3, the Arsenal. And they're looking to press, and they're going to try and force those errors out of the home team.
Enrique's heavy touch invites the challenge from Nico O'Reilly. Chelsea for not even hit with the Arsenal fans since putting on the red shirt here. That's such a timber for a Manchester City throw again. Home advantage for Arsenal today. Perhaps that takes some of the balance in their favour. The win probability computer. Manchester City will be doing their best to turn those percentages in their favour as the afternoon progresses. Timberton's run against Haaland. Fiore. Gabriel has scored against Manchester City in each of the last 2 seasons, the Brazilian defender. Nicely done by Fiore to Leandro Trossard, who is starting again for the first time this campaign. Pursued by Khrushchev, and a fair challenge from the Uzbek defender.
Not only aggressive, Connor, very quick as well, Khrushchev. Leandro Trossard just found a yard of space, just 10 yards inside City's territory there, but Khrushchev put his foot to the floor and recovered very well.
Leandro Trossard, you might remember, was sent off against Manchester City in the Etihad last season. Dismissed just before half-time in that game. Fiore neat and tidy. Back to Saliba. Marino. Bright sunshine in North London today. Blue skies overhead.
Airports now big. Before they come your side, you sound where I beg.
Marino.
Wow.
That's patient play from Arsenal. They want to play under pressure in those tight areas. You have to. It's the best teams. You expect pressure.
This season, the games between these two are high scoring. 10 goals across the 2 matches home and away. Dominating possession in the early stages. This first pass from Saliba. His ability to play out for the back demands accuracy in moments like that.
Well, it does. Every now and again, you're not going to get the ball going astray, as that one did. But all the coaches nowadays, they're very forgiving in that respect. They want their teams to play in tight areas, they want them to be brave, then mistakes will happen.
by Ruben Diaz. Cut out by Guardiola. City control is returned to their hosts. Zubimendi gets it back for Arsenal. This is Foden. Haaland. Talking to his left. There's a run from Haaland to the right to Johnny Reinders. He kicks it to the Norwegian. And Erling Haaland gives Manchester City the lead with their first shot of the game. What a great run that is. 5 goals now in 7 Premier League appearances against Arsenal for Erling Haaland. Perfect start for Pep Guardiola.
Brilliant. I said last week about the performance he gave against United, and I thought it was top draw. Not just his goals, but his effort, his work rate, his willingness to do what we've just witnessed here. That is run at top speed. As soon as he believes that ball there, watch him just sprint away from the red shirt. Now, Reinders has only got to pick the right ball. He does exactly that. And again, the mood he's in, the zone he's in, the frame of mind by now just suggests Erling Haaland is not going to miss when he's one-on-one. That is another wonderful goal.
Erling Haaland, who scored home and away against Arsenal last season, but City did not win either game. That is Premier League goal number 6 of this campaign already. Manchester City's number 9.
Question mark definitely, Connor, on the reaction from the red and white shirts. Once Erling Haaland just wriggled out of that tight gap, then all of a sudden people have got to switch on quicker. He's run from inside his own half, totally unchecked.
So the early goal for the visitors in this fixture this season, it was Arsenal who scored first. Wanted to go for the very early goal that day and also went on to win 5-1 because of Erling Haaland's strike there. Arsenal are going to have to come from behind if they're going to get a victory today. Scored his 50th Champions League goal in midweek. Erling Haaland, 50 goals in just 49 games. A new record in that competition.
Similar, Connor, wasn't it, to the one against United last week when he just burst through the middle and United were pushing to try and get back in the game, but he must be delighted with what he's seeing from Haaland at the minute. As good as I've seen him operate for some time, honestly, I think he's so sharp and so focused.
He's not won in the last 4 Premier League meetings against Arsenal. Pep Guardiola has never gone 5 successive top division games without a win against any opponent in his managerial career. Nothing fancy from David Raya as he succeeds in safely dispatching the ball away. 1 chance, 1 goal, and a very important one for Erling Haaland. Reinders, who provided the assist for the goal. Taken off by Marino. Unable to control that, so just need a deep breath here.
Well, that's just what they push out. And understandably, because they'd had all the possession and they were pretty comfortable in the game. If you thought any team might produce something, you'd think it was the Gunners, but one little half a chance, just one moment where they ball watched and perhaps didn't react or recover quick enough, and they're punished.
Zubimendi in ahead of Reinders. Dr. Rice trying to help out. City aggressive though. Saliba to Clique. High pace and tempo to the game now at the moment. Foden. Arsenal finished last season 3 points out of City in the table. Arsenal who started today 3 points out of City in the table.
Man on you, man on you. Right now, today. Oh, yo, let me smell. Let me smell. Hey.
Ruben Diaz. Arsenal fans beginning to regain the volume in their voices now after being stunned by that early Haaland open. Silva. Kushnov. Stopped by Gabriel. Kushnov is the sitting player who has gone down. For the moment, Guardiola's team play on with 10 men. We believe that Kushnov's foot was trod on. But the VAR has already looked at this. They deem it to be accidental. There'll be no further action, but here's what's happened to Kadir Kushnov.
Yeah, just stood on his foot there, which can be painful, but hopefully Kushnov is able to recover. But brilliant work for the goal. Look at the run. Look at the run, the way he's head down. I mean, he's just flown past Gabriel. Now, whether or not he was a bit slow in reacting the centre half initially when Haaland gave that ball to Reinders, maybe that was the case, but I tell you, that's a brilliant run. And again, even on his right foot, just know he's going to score.
13 goals this season out for club and country for Erling Haaland. Reinders who had the perfect weight on the pass. One attempt, one goal for Manchester City to have them in front here.
Yeah, only 23% of the ball so far. Doesn't matter, crucially. They now have a lead. And that will just frustrate, particularly when the game stops as it is at the moment. It just frustrates the home fans. But, you know, for a long time, Colin, I've always wanted to see Haaland used a little bit more like we've seen for that goal there. Because he's so powerful and so quick. And so often he's on the 18-yard box, he's on the line, and he's looking for something that's poked through a tight little gap or to try and get on the end of something, but he is incredibly dangerous from much, much further back if City can find him and release him as they did.
John Stones, who we saw there, has scored against Arsenal in 2 of the last 3 seasons. His equaliser the Etihad last season came in the 98th minute for John Stones. Shot back up at his feet and waiting to go back onto the field.
My card. Well, you should do players today. You know they show for the camera, but they should say I record something like 56 hours, but they show unable to display. Inside the camera, first
3 Premier League games in a
no,
row.
on the camera itself. But the system, they don't show anything. At all. Yes. Don't press dot from the system. Don't do what? Just press dot. Search bar.
Earliest that Arsenal conceded
On where?
in the Premier League.
On my system. In your system, it shows that there is something inside now. On the system, the videos are not showing at all. Like your space, you're supposed to show something.
Still looking for a response. City back to 11. And Whitgate. Timber. Gets us on the ball, making a line. Arsenal get what is usually so potent for them. A corner.
Correct. They produce something that we've seen many times from this particular Arsenal team. Really do an awful lot of work at these set plays and how they could do with getting themselves back in this game.
And both goals that Martin Zubimendi scored against Nottingham Forest last weekend came from set pieces. This is one of Arsenal's real strengths. Dinked in by Madueke, met by Nico O'Reilly. Second opportunity for Donny Madueke. He's played it off Foden, the ball didn't go over the line, no corner for Arsenal.
Well played, Phil Foden, kept going. Looked like it was going to go out for another corner, but managed to keep it in. As ever with those Arsenal corners, got to get the delivery right. Madueke, that one there was a little bit short. They're looking for that little flick towards the near post.
Amy, See, from next time, they open my screen.
Too long from Saliba. Last time also went behind
Not
a
just the sound.
Premier League game
This
and
crowd, eh?
conceded the first goal and then went on to win it was when they came back against Tottenham
Yeah.
Hotspur back
Maybe
in
that
January.
end. Nobody stop anybody. Depends. Every guy depends on that side. They move on. They move on.
Rodri. Trossard trying to get it away from Foden, so he hold on to possession. Good work again from Trossard, but the throw-in will be for Manchester City.
Hey! Eyes on the ball! Behind the ball!
Good pressure from Mikel Merino on Guardiola. Could do right to keep this in play. Timber is able to cut it out. Merino. Reinders pounces. City set the trap. Arsenal fell into it. This is Reinders. Kept it low, but straight away.
Should he go one more to drop it? Perhaps.
The Blair collided with Erling Haaland. Arsenal fans baying for further sanction there. Referee says play on. Madueke. So well into the byline. Good positioning from Rodri, however.
It's great play from Ronnie Madueke, that. And he'd like to think someone would have been a bit closer.
Manchester City lost 2 of their only 2 Premier League games this season. Team that appears to be back on track, and they were good in Europe in midweek too. Good start today for Pep Guardiola's team. Arsenal who've conceded from open play for the first time this season and conceded for just the second time. If there was any description this back there. Grace, good start to the game for him. It's Trossard, outpaced by Kushnerov.
Right, and Carl Walker making the right back slot. Pushing off there is surprised.
Reinders, first one against Gyökeres. Smuggles it to Doku, trying to return. He's had a good week. Goal against Napoli, 2 assists last Sunday in the derby. Offside flag raised, free kick to Manchester City. Gyökeres, who scored a hat-trick against Manchester City in the past, in the Champions League. Former assistant of Pep Guardiola at Manchester City in the past. He's enjoyed the recent meetings, but as you can see, Mikel Arteta's team yet to have a shot today.
Yeah, that's something that they've got to rectify pretty quickly. I like to see Arsenal when they squeeze in and put them more of a threat on rather than just sitting off. Particularly a team like City, so comfortable in possession. Saw moments ago, you can hear the crowd really get behind their team when they really start to press and squeeze and hunt Manchester City down better from them. You need more of that. You have to be prepared to risk a little bit. That's where you've got someone like Haaland working for you, you have to be so careful.
Mikel Merino gives Arsenal a free kick midway through the first half of the Emirates League. Manchester City score and they make the most of it. It tends to be the best out of it. We've got to go back over 4 years now for the last time that City scored within the first 10 minutes of the Premier League game and ended up losing it. And he just stuck like Timber, who's made the most tackles by players in the game game so far. Jerry Rogers has stayed down after that tackle.
The badness now. Yeah, so go to that search. Press this stop.
Just felt that he got his ankles wrapped there by U17. No would have been the case just there. However, play on. Play on. No need to stop the game. It's very sporting and I respect that, but since the crowd's frustration here, the referee has the ability to stop the game if he feels that Blinders needs it desperately enough. Just keep going, keep playing.
Declan Rice. Calafiori. Arsenal still looking for rhythm in the game. Another misplaced pass. Bernardo Silva. Headed down by Marino. Goes straight to Foden. He's dealt with by Calafiori. Now Trossard. Both teams struggling to hold on to possession at the moment. Rice to Calafiori. Grace. Trossard. So there was a nice corner this time from the left-hand side. Chance for Declan Rice to swing an in-swinger here.
He's the one that feels a bit more reliable with the delivery. Wish I could sit that one out. That definitely jinxed what's about to happen, but he is, usually. You just want to give people a chance. You never guarantee you're going to drop it absolutely on the sixpence for anybody. You just got to give people an opportunity to get in there after it.
Here it comes from Declan Rice. Just Donnarumma. Really good ball back from Rice. The Italian keeper dealt with it. Arsenal get another corner.
He's a giant of a man, Donnarumma. When he leaves and punches, there's not going to be anybody able to really get anywhere near that. Not enough on it.
Of Odegaard, Madueke on duty for the corners on this side. Rodri's forehead greets it. This is Foden. Wally beaten by Marino. 20 times so on to keep that in play. Taking O'Reilly, survives the stumble. Really good for Madueke. Silva now wanted to Calafiori.
It's a walking ball play that. It's been excellently saved for Arsenal. Once we can keep that in and then from there to get to the byline, to this position, that's what I can work. Again, Calafiori's going to go, then go. Go all the way. He's almost marking his city man there that was in front of him, but run beyond them. Get in the box.
Lakers be the one, creating the chances, causing a bit of chaos. Launched in by Declan Rice, headed down by O'Reilly. Put away by Phil Foden. Tipper got 2 goals to the winner to Leeds United last month. Arsenal were the highest net spenders in the Premier League in the summer transfer window. Reaches spent factor on the stadium. Plenty noise. Most completing for the first time. Bukayo Saka going for a warm-up jog. And Arsenal fans surprised and very pleased to see him in the matchday squad today.
Yeah. He's absolutely right. A lovely option for Mikel Arteta today. On his bench, it's a very powerful looking collection of players he has there. He's got Martinelli, he's got Maguire, he's got Lewis Skelly, Ben White, as well as Bukayo Saka. I mean, he's got some power there.
Arteta, who has a choice, a variety now for his team selections. Listen in on these press conferences, there's lots of starters and finishers. Substitutes have been on for a strong end to the game. And Arsenal hoping that increased depth in the squad will make the difference between the near misses of recent seasons and maybe a sustained title push this time round. They're already up against it here today, with half an hour played at the Emirates.
They've had plenty of the ball, haven't they? They've got to the byline and they've had a few corners and they've applied a bit of pressure, but we've not really seen Donnarumma tested. They've got themselves right down, so Liverpool still apply, keep playing, keep passing, keep moving, do it a little bit quicker if you can. When you get the opportunity to deliver something in the box or take a strike at the edge of the box, get your head down and do it.
Deep position for Trossard. Saliba. Timber. Zubimendi. Calafiori's the target here. Foden covering for City. Will be Arsenal throw, despite the appeals of Phil Foden there. Ricardo Calafiori, who scored against Manchester City this one last season of what was his first Premier League start for Arsenal. This time he's going to try and create something for one of his colleagues here. Propelled in by the Italian. As they were pushing Gabriel in the penalty area, Haaland appeared to be the closest to it. Matwike! Manchester City take a deep breath there. Video assistant referee will be watching in the background here. What happened between Erling Haaland and Gabriel?
You can see Haaland is trying to bump him and go after him. Just have a look at this point. And I tell you, you've got to be very, very careful. There's two hands in the middle of his back. They rarely get given